Hi, I'm Bradford Werner from thisisclassicalguitar.com, and in this segment of the website and the YouTube channel, we are checking out new guitars, and I'm kind of reviewing the guitars, but really I'm only looking at guitars that I already know that I like. So the review is going to be very positive, of course. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is that when I like a guitar and it's in the area that I can try it out, I take a lot of pictures of it and then I do a video with the guitar. And then potential buyers can take a really close look at the instrument. They can have the luthiers' approval of the instrument, but they can also have my approval as well. And that kind of gives them a little bit of extra confidence if they're thinking about ordering an instrument. And it's really fun for me because I love checking out these instruments that I'm personally interested in. And it's great for the buyer, of course, to be able to see the instrument and really check it out before they purchase it. So this is a brand new double top guitar by Dominelli up in Victoria, Canada. And it's a double top, so it has the cedar on the top, and then it has the Nomex layer, and then it has spruce in the bottom. So it's kind of best of both sound worlds with the spruce and cedar. It has an armrest. I love armrests. Just makes it easier for your arm to glide along here. It also keeps your arm off of the guitar, which might help with in case your arm dampens the sound vibrations on the top. Has a sound port, that's an important fact. Indian Rosewood back and sides, the cedar neck. Has an elevated fingerboard. I'll just bring it in close here, just make sure you can see that. That's the kind of idea, it just elevates it to make it easier to reach up on the instrument and get into upper positions. You can kind of get your thumb still on the neck, but way up here, playing in these upper positions. So it has all the features that you would be looking for in a modern guitar, or at least that I'm looking for in a modern guitar. One other important aspect of this guitar is that it's a 630 millimeter scale length, which is smaller than the regular 650 millimeter scale length. So I'm pretty short, I'm like 5'6", and so the regular size 650, which I do play, but I'm definitely moving in this direction. It's pretty tough. It's like I'm always like kind of elevated out here, plus the increased body size is just a little bit hard for me to kind of relax my shoulders. This guitar is just a little bit smaller, so the dimensions of the body is just like a tiny bit smaller, and the scale length is a little bit shorter, making a lot of reaches just a lot easier. When you see me play the vice in the next part, I'll explain like some of the stretches are easier and things like that. So a 640 millimeter, which is very popular, I really can't tell the difference. It's usually the same size body, and like 10 millimeters across all these frets is less than a millimeter per fret, so it's very unnoticeable. But the 630, I truly can like recognize it. It's much shorter. I feel much more comfortable, like I can just relax my shoulders. I don't have to put my arm out quite as much. It just feels better. Some of the stretches are easier, so I really like the 630. I think it's a great choice for most people. In fact, the majority of people, even taller people. So that's just another aspect of this guitar that I particularly like. And one of the reasons I like doing these videos is because I'm into that kind of thing, checking out instruments that I'm really particularly interested in. So 630 millimeter. So that's kind of the idea behind the instrument. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the camera and do an inspection of it, but make sure that you realize that with video, sometimes the quality of the picture is not as good as with like a camera, for example. So go to the website, there's a link in the YouTube section. Go to the website and check out the pictures I've taken of the instrument as well. That way you can kind of see a better idea of what it looks like. So I'll do an inspection of the guitar with the camera now, and then afterwards I'll play a few notes on the instrument just to kind of give you an idea of some of its sound qualities, and I'll talk more about it. Thanks. Okay, so I've already taken some pictures of the instrument, but let's do a little inspection via video. I'll just kind of take the camera off the tripod here and just kind of zoom in, and just so you can see the instrument live instead of just in the photos from the website. But if you haven't been to the website and you're watching this on YouTube, you should go to the post and see all the great photos of it, because video isn't always the best way to look at the quality. Sometimes video quality goes down on YouTube. Take a look at this. So here we have the cedar top, and of course under that is the Nomex layer, and then a spruce layer as well. Here we go. You can see me. It's very reflective in this room, and because the polish is so new, so It's going to be very reflective and shiny. Here we have the Ebony Fingerboard and the headstock. Let's take a quick look at these tuners. Beauty. Okay. Here's the elevated fingerboard. Let's see if I can get this nice and clear. Elevated fingerboard, making it easier to play. When I play a little bit on the instrument in a second, you'll see, I'll demonstrate how much easier it is and point these things out again. Here's the sound portal with the Indian Rosewood side here. Here's the armrest. See if we can see this from multiple angles. You see it doesn't actually touch the top. Oh. That way your arm doesn't dampen it, and you can just freely move it. Here's the 12-hole bridge. Take a look at this rosette here. I'm not sure if I can get the label. Oh, there it is. 2016 double top. Okay, let's take a look at this. Very, very pretty. Okay, I think I should probably flip the instrument around here. I'm just going to put the camera back on the tripod for 1 second. And then after I flip it over, I'll pick the instrument up and play it. Just have to be a little gentle here. Okay. So this is going to be pretty reflective. So let me see if I can get a different angle here. Let me close the blinds here, see if that helps a bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit. And Spanish cedar neck. Really see the reflection here, so I'll try to show you this from another angle. You can see the whole room there, and there's the tripod because the French polish is so nicely done. All right, that gives you an idea. Probably check out some of the photos to get a nice accurate look at that back. So I'll pick up the guitar now and play a. Okay, so now I'll play a few notes on the instrument, but I just want to talk about listening to the sound of this recording. So I have a few mics just about 3 or 4 feet away from me. This room is very reflective though, so the sound through the microphone is not going to be quite what it sounds like in real life. So just keep that in mind. These aren't the most expensive mics, and they could definitely be in a better sound room. If I was in a hall, for example, this guitar would really shine. And I think that just through the microphones, classical guitars just don't always record very nicely in small rooms. They usually need a nice concert hall to sound the way you would normally hear an instrument. But nevertheless, it's just an idea. Personally, I own another Marcus Dominelli guitar. I own a lattice braced guitar, which is just a cedar lattice with walnut back and sides, and it's quite a bit brighter. This is a very nice mellow sound, so I don't know if that's coming through with the microphone, but very bell-like. This is more of a ponticello sound. Very warm or very bright, depending on what you want, so it's pretty versatile. But like with double tops, the biggest thing for me is that they just pop. with very little effort in this hand, I can get things to really pop out sound-wise. So when you're playing like a melody, it's just really easy to kind of just put a little bit of pressure on this one finger and to get this lots of sound. And I don't know if the microphones are making it what they're sounding like, but this is a really pretty sound. I think this is a very forgiving instrument. It's very warm. Not so much that you'll lose clarity, but it's definitely a very forgiving instrument. It's very warm, very bell-like, which is the first thing I noticed. And with the double top quality, it's just very easy to play. You can just put very little effort into it. It'll make lots of sound. Classics. There. What else? So, a really beautiful instrument. I personally really like this instrument. If I were to buy a guitar today, it would probably be this instrument for a couple of reasons. I'll just list them really quickly. One thing, I don't play without an elevated fingerboard. I would never buy an instrument without one because it's so helpful. The other thing is that although I haven't been a huge supporter of double tops, I really think that at this point it's hard to ignore them. They're just so lovely to play. They just so much sound for so little effort. And I think Macasser's guitars in particular have a pretty nice traditional sound, even though they're double tops. Some double tops have a really intense mid-range sound. This has a little bit of it, but really, I think it sounds really balanced and really nice. Also, the 630 millimeter scale length is for me, for sure. It's a slightly smaller body, and the slightly smaller scale length just means that my arm isn't way out here. It's just a little bit tighter, a little bit smaller. I've played 640 instruments before, and they don't seem to make a difference because it's really like less than a millimeter per fret. But this 630, I can notice it definitely, and the stretches are easier. Playing that vice example, which is kind of awkward, it has lots of stretches, and it's a lot easier on this instrument. And I really like the cedar tops. I think they sound great. Indian Rosewood, definitely reliable backwood, and such a pretty wood as well. And it's readily available. It's not endangered and things like that. So this is the type of guitar I love to show on the website, but there's lots of other instruments out there that I'll be showing as well, and some local luthiers that I'll be eyeing to try out some of their. But this instrument is fantastic, and I think it's for sale right now. So if you're interested in this instrument, just contact me, and we'll talk about it. If you have any questions, just let me know. So make sure you visit the website to see all the pictures and everything. Thanks.